Warning, the following podcast contains speculation, which may be confused with spoilers, although it may also contain spoilers. You have been warned.
Say, are these carrot chips fried? Because I'm trying to lose some weight.
You probably should have asked that before you started eating them.
Nah, it's fine. Whatever.
And what are you doing?
Rolling it up. I'm done.
But you got to put a clip on those.
Nah, it's fine. It doesn't. No air comes out.
Everybody knows you got to clip the chips.
Ah, come on.
Listen, if you don't clip the chips, you're living on the edge.
Did somebody say Galaxy's Edge?
Louis? How'd you get in my house? We ain't found Sith. Hello, and welcome to We Ain't Found Sith, Issue 5. I am your host, Eben, a.k.a. Big Sexy the Giant Killer. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Pedro.
Hi.
And we're joined today with a special in-studio guest, Louis.
What's up, guys?
Louis, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you.
And then always on the ones and twos over here recording the show for us, Producer Fungus. All right. So, Louis, one of the reasons you're here today is we got a huge drop of information pretty much the day of recording last week, and we didn't really talk about it because, you know, we know that you're a bit of a theme park guy, and we figured let's have Louis on and talk about this stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm really excited for all the neat stuff that Disney kind of unveiled last week on Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, and so for those of you that are not familiar, Disney last week released a huge, they had a small press event, but it was a huge amount of information talking about the food that will be served at Galaxy's Edge, the merchandise that will be available for purchase, and then some of the rides, both major rides that will be in the park, and kind of got into details about this stuff. You know, Louis, I am a large man, and as a large man, I usually find food to be very, very interesting, and I like to get my food situation sorted out before I get into anything else.
And Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has you covered. If you've ever dreamed of eating a porg like Chewbacca, you're good. You're good.
How about assholes like me who are vegan?
Vegan? Oh, yeah. No, they got you, too. They've got dairy-free Bantha milkshakes.
What
the
is
blue
that?
milk.
The blue milk
that...
got it.
You know, it's played off of when Luke Skywalker was drinking his blue milk in A New Hope.
Oh, I was about to say.
So, you know, Disney found a way to charge $15.99 for that experience.
Hey, but at least some of those will have alcohol in them.
Yeah.
And for anybody that lives in Miami, they know that $15 for an alcoholic drink is not that far out of the price range.
Yeah, you could tell I don't drink very often. I just kind of took a stab at what an expensive drink is.
But yeah, so there's going to be three kind of food service areas, right? It's
and they're all going to be terrible because Disney food is garbage.
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you ever tried their honey mustard sauce? They use Ken's honey mustard. That's good quality honey mustard.
I guess, but it's still Disney fucking bullshit food. It's gross, guys.
I don't know, man.
For real, let's be real.
Epcot's got some good food, man.
Yeah, I guess.
When I see a bowl, a plate, or a cup with that Mickey Mouse silhouette, it's all good. It's all
fucking
beautiful.
Well, that's one of the big things that they announced is within the Galaxy's Edge area, there will be no branding.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No.
like you're completely immersed in the Star Wars
So there's
world.
no Mickey Mouse.
There's no Mickey. There's no Disney logo. There's no Star Wars logo.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you're good. Well, I'm sure on like the price tags and stuff. No.
Well, I don't know, but
we'll
yeah,
find
obviously
out.
the
We'll
price
find
tags are gonna
my
have
understanding is like if there are any like brands or logos, they're all Galaxy's Edge related.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. So like it's just gonna be you're completely immersed in this. So what they did for the park was that the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is a new planet that they created story-wise that you're on
for the Star Wars universe.
For the Star Wars universe,
Okay.
and it's basically a mishmash of like it feels like Tatooine.
Yeah, that's what the pictures look like.
Right? It looks like Tatooine for the most part.
It's like Tatooine meets the Moroccan market from Epcot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so like that's what the feeling is gonna be like. But
although there's plant life, so it's almost like what's the orange lady?
I don't even remember her
Boss or something like
Mascanada.
Mas-
It's there's a little bit of that vibe to it too. But yeah, man, like there's gonna be three areas to eat. There's gonna be it's a quick service restaurant.
name. Yeah.
Which is the typical. I stand in a line, I order my food, I get my food, I go sit down.
Burgers and fries and pizza.
No burgers and fries and pizza.
No, come on. Yeah, right. They're gonna have to have that cafeteria lunch bullshit.
Nah, man, not from the pictures that they released. Everything looks like basically like home cooked food.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it is home cooked. It's probably all gonna be flash frozen.
It looks
heated
really
up,
fancy. If you go on Google and look up the pictures of this food, it looks like top tier. It's kind of funny because the food looks really fancy. Like these fancy plates with like a little pile of veggies and rice with this fancy piece of meat on top. But you're eating it in like this shithole Star Wars land where you're like at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
hey, buy
I'm
this
in like
for
a
$1, huh?
I'm like in a rebel hideout, but I'm getting gourmet food.
Exactly.
But, that place looks, but the place that really like caught my attention was the sandwich place.
I don't think I saw it.
It's like where they
What's
have
that
like the
like?
wraps and stuff like that.
Okay.
And basically it's gonna be like kind of like a kiosk, but it's all built around like a pod racer engine that they've converted into a grill.
I need you having this sandwich. It's a very good sandwich.
Oh, I don't know where they're going to sell this, but I thought this was like the most touristy Star Wars thing in the world. They got a churro, and they used like colored sugar to make it look like a lightsaber.
Oh boy!
And the handle, they put it in a cardboard.
They
handle.
have those. They
already
have
there?
those already at
MGM.
at Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood
That's when I used to freak
That was
out.
the last time you went.
No, I went with these guys.
That's
for
all right.
guys.
I do that all the time too.
MGM
MGM.
studio.
But yeah,
I
they
call it
do like
MGM
the
on
colored
purpose.
churros, like the red churros and the blue churros.
Hold up a second, guys. Let's go back to this pod racer engine converted into a barbecue grill, because I'm pretty sure they stole that from driving through Perrine at night. Because I see that shit all the time when I'm driving home.
Time, baby.
The car engine that's been turned. It's like imagine a jet engine that they've turned into, which it's like in theory it could work, but it does also seems like it would just burn the hell out of the outside of my food.
What's that guy's name with the little wing? Oh, yeah, very good.
I don't know, but I want
I want that guy to make
Watto,
the food.
but
Yeah,
I want Watto to sell me a shawarma or a gyro, like hey, you like the juice?
You like
the juice?
You like the gyro, yes.
I want that to happen now. I want Watto to sell me a gyro.
That would be awesome. An animatronic Watto.
So the food. So the food is fancy.
The
in a
food,
shithole.
yeah, the food looks fancy, and then obviously you got the blue and the green milk. But
What's the green milk from? I know the blue milk. I never.
that's
seen
from Last Jedi.
Oh, that milk was supposed to be
Yeah,
green?
from the
It's
the big titty
right out of the walrus titty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, super weird.
The
So that was the one that Luke
What
drank
would be
out of.
funny would be like if it was like they had the walrus and then it's like you pay your money and then you go up to the walrus titty.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure they want to
Yeah.
influence
like
little
push
kids
on it
to
and
suck
like
on
it squeezes
tits.
the milk
I'm
into your
sure
cup.
Nah,
Well, actually, that's
I would
exactly-
want to drink it straight out, just like Luke. Put my mouth on that on the alien tin, just have it dripping down my
And then
face all over my
just
shirt.
look at the person next to you as it drips down.
You guys are
Wow.
fucking disgusting.
See,
I'm gonna grow a beard just for that, so that it can get stuck in my beard.
when most guys talk about sucking alien tits, it's like Total Recall. you guys are fucking talking about Star Wars
A
tits. like-
fucking walrus. No.
Get in our
it's-
level, Gus.
Hey, that walrus had like 6 titties on her, so
that's more.
that's
than
twice
rounds.
that's twice as much as the Total Recall.
So does my cat. That's not fun.
Yeah, you got a
I got
sexy
nipples.
cat, Pedro.
I got nipples, Pedro. Could you milk me?
Sure can. Anyway, so the food is
Yeah.
fancy in a shithole.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're also trying to sell me that Disney food is going to be good. You're fucking crazy.
And
Guys,
then
we can just go to Wynwood for that.
Yeah.
Actually, Wynwood does have some good food.
Yeah, this
Exactly.
That what is that Wynwood Yard or whatever? The like the big old like empty space that just has like a bar in the middle of it and like.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's like a food truck there that does like Brazilian, that does like picanha.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
which
shit's
is just
awesome.
that shit's just dope.
All right, so let's talk about the attractions. I think that's
Oh,
the
and
most exciting.
let's not forget drinks of every color.
Oh,
like
that's true.
all kinds of drinks,
Yeah.
alcoholic drinks, non-alcoholic drinks,
They have bubble-
yellow and purple and blue and colors that shouldn't exist in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they have like what looks like bubble tea, but the little tapioca balls are maybe like alien eggs.
All I know is
Star Wars theming.
what they won't have an intergalactic gargle pan blaster or whatever
Yeah.
whatever that drink is
I
from
wish.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Speaking of, this is a complete tangent. I'm actually 4 chapters away from finishing that book, and I'm loving that.
Oh, I
fucking
love
book.
that book.
Like the first book or like
The first
the
one.
comprehensive
No,
no,
the first book,
volume.
Hitchhiker's
First
Guide.
one. Oh, okay.
The first one. I'm gonna buy the whole fucking set because I'm loving this book.
I think they sell like a hardcover edition
Yeah, I
that
got
has like
that
all
one.
5 of them in
I
one.
don't want that. I want the fucking original books.
Oh,
I'm that plebe.
I'm gonna go track down first print editions.
Yeah, bro. No, I fucking love that book. Anyway, back to
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the merchandise.
Oh yeah. They have stuffed animals of all the different little like aliens, and I want to get a stuffed tauntaun. That's gonna be
it's just
amazing.
it's simply
Well,
gonna
I don't-
cost $150. No big deal.
That's,
Well,
pretty, that's pretty cheap for Disney, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I find it interesting, the logistics. Like I don't know how they're gonna do the. Like everything is branded to Galaxy's Edge, and there's no plastic Disney bags. And so, like, there'll be some form of carrying container to you to take your thing
here's
out.
a
That's how
question.
But
they
it won't be like a plastic Disney bag.
That's how they resell you lost items. They find a fucking doll in the toy, put it back in the market, and they sell it back to the same kid who lost it. That's how they're gonna do
Evan,
it.
do you think they're gonna have hidden Mickeys in the Star Wars galaxy?
Oh, of course,
Right?
no doubt.
Okay, I think so too.
Like they'll probably be like in the rock formations and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So anyway,
But
then
let's get to the big thing. Let's get to
Mhm.
where you want to go first.
let's start with the Millennium Falcon ride.
Ooh.
What-
Pedro, I know you're gonna be all in on that.
So what's funny?
All
What do you
in
guys,
on-
what do you guys
It just
laughing
sounds
at?
like a sexual innuendo. That's me and Gus are laughing in the background. No. But the fucking Millennium Falcon. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I ate my words. I said I didn't care for Star Tours, and I tried it, and I fucking love Star Tours. So maybe this is
You-
fun.
When you go there, I bet you're gonna be like
Probably.
Pedro
was
talks a lot, and
amazed.
Pedro talks about how like he hates Disney. But whenever Pedro goes to Disney with us, he always has a good time.
No. Don't put words in my mouth, kid.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm talking from experience, things that I've seen.
No, I enjoyed the fucking ride. I did.
Which one?
Star Tours.
Oh, okay.
Star Tours, I thoroughly enjoyed. How many times did we ride that shit? Like 5 times? I fucking
Something
loved
like
it.
that, yeah.
And we got like the same thing 4 times, which was obnoxious, but whatever. And then I liked the stupid fucking photo booths. That's it. The stupid photo booths that we took pictures on.
Yeah,
that was fun.
The only thing is, those photo booths only exist whenever they're doing their Galactic
Exactly.
Nights.
I don't fucking
which
care
kind
about
of sucks
that.
because like I kind of wish those were
Everything
those were
else
more.
about that experience for
Yeah.
me was whatever.
I've never been to a galactic night before.
So dope. It's pretty dope. They take it and they basically they close it off to the general public. It's only open to the people that bought the experience. So right off the bat, like the park's at like half capacity.
Oh, nice.
Then the park's open like all over, but all over the park is they do like special kinds of Star Wars things, like picture things and all of that. But then like the 2 dope things were, one, we got to ride Star Tours like 5 times in a row because the line was so short that it was like
I was fucking
in and
awesome.
out. Second of all, they took the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster and they basically shut off the lights
Oh man.
so that it wasn't
shit.
Aerosmith
So
style.
That's not just how
And-
it is always?
No.
Oh,
And
okay.
instead of playing Aerosmith music, they were playing the Star Wars music through the
Oh
speakers.
man, that's
Oh, is
cool.
I thought that's just how that ride was. That was the first time me riding that ride. That's how I
That's not
experienced
how it normally
it. It was
is.
very
Oh,
Star
wow.
Warsy. I'm like, I don't know why
What song
this.
did they play?
The theme music, and then music from within the movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Like it goes through music changes as the ride goes.
Oh,
through.
okay. Yeah, like Aerosmith.
The ride itself is whack. It was like whatever. It's just a fast ride.
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's like
It's not a roller coaster if it doesn't go upside down.
It does go upside down.
It does.
So then it's a roller coaster.
So yeah, it's just like a
Also, there's a lot of people who love wooden coasters that would probably challenge you on that.
Yeah, Gus.
Get at me, bro.
We have one sitting right here.
That's at Lemon City Live.
Yeah.
No.
Let them know how much you love your wooden coasters.
But yeah, it felt like Space Mountain with like a. I think I saw cutouts, like cardboard cutouts of stupid nonsense.
Well,
it looks super cheap.
So normally that ride is designed to look like downtown LA.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You know,
they
turn the lights off in order to so it's not that theme.
Because Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, what's another cool thing that I fucking enjoyed about that park? The line for Haunted Mansion, I think Haunted
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror.
Oh yeah.
That's like I didn't like the ride. The ride is shitty, but the line for that shit is fucking cool, man. Everything about like the atmosphere, everything.
Yeah,
about
you're like
that
in
ride.
an old 1930s hotel.
Yeah, and it's like
they'd have that
everybody's
old
like,
music playing.
Yeah.
Guys, go on YouTube and Google Twilight Zone Tower of Terror Q music. QUE. How do you spell Q?
Yeah,
QUE.
That's
Yeah.
it. You spelled it.
QU. No, but it's like QUEUE. It's like
No.
whatever. And you're gonna hear some pretty like cool music. It's just very haunting. Very.
I got something. Have you guys seen that new Twilight Zone show that's coming out?
Oh, no,
I
I
heard about it.
It's
Yeah,
with
Jinx.
one of
Jinx,
you owes
you
the
owe me
other
a
one a
soda.
Coke. It's with is it Key or Peele?
I don't know.
Peel.
I think it's Peel.
Is it
Yeah.
Peele?
Jordan
Yeah,
Peele.
it's
It's with Jordan Peele.
Yeah,
yes.
Jordan Peele.
He's the host.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did it-
I'm
Yeah.
Is
pretty
that
sure.
out already though?
I don't think so.
No, it's
No,
not out
right?
yet.
It's-
I think they confirmed Seth Rogen will be starring in one of the episodes.
I
That's
heard.
pretty
Oh, I'm
tight.
excited about that. That's gonna be so
Yeah, I always
friggin'
liked
cool.
Twilight Zone, and I
Yeah.
know that's like the theme for the ride, but
Yeah.
I don't really care. I like the line. I thought the line for that shit was. Whew.
Isn't it something else now?
No. That's L.A.
The one in LA got turned
Oh.
into Guardians of the Galaxy.
And I guarantee you the line is not as cool.
Well, no, that's one thing that I will give Disney props on over the last 20 years is anything they've built recently, they've got good cues like full of little things
Yeah.
here and there to just kind of keep you like, oh, look
But
at this.
still,
check that
I don't
out.
think. I don't know. Maybe it's because I like that fucking emo bullshit, and I fucking really love that Tower of Terror cue.
Mm.
It is so fucking cool, guys. Like Louis even told me a while back when I was talking about it, he's like, yeah, you could like book a wedding in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that is the fucking greatest idea to book.
Mhm.
Like, man, I don't know.
I mean, you got to have money to book a wedding.
I know,
right?
obviously, if a fucking ice cream from Disney is like $50, I can guarantee you that shit's gonna cost your leg.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Oh,
yeah, so I didn't
love
like
Disney ice cream.
I didn't like everything about that fucking shit.
Gus, are you the classic Mickey on a bar, or are you the
Ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, ice cream sandwich, bitches.
No, the Oreo one.
The Oreo.
Oreos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. High five. I just wanted to touch Gus's
Slap
hand.
hands, slap hands.
Slap hands.
Yeah,
But,
I
Slap
don't,
hands.
and I'm here alone, not eating
Yeah.
any of that nonsense.
Yeah. And speaking of ride queues, some of the information started coming out for the ride queues and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and it looks dope.
Yeah.
So let's get. But we were starting to talk about the Smuggler's Run, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's
right.
Run,
Yeah.
and right off the bat, one of the big announcements.
Sell me on it. Sell me on it,
Fully-
Evan.
Did you finally watch Rebels?
No,
But you did watch Clone Wars,
I
right?
did.
Okay, you remember Hondo Inaka?
Yep.
Fully animatronic Hondo Inaka is the guy that basically you're doing
Hold
this
up.
job for.
Disney's actually acknowledging something they didn't make.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Look up the video of
I'm
the
kind of
animatronic.
excited
It's
about
The
it.
really
animatronic
impressive.
looks dope as hell. It looks like it's a full
Wait,
motion
just
animatronic.
just so I have it right. It's that pirate guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's so fucking cool.
And in the comics, supposedly, like they're cute. They're setting it up in the comics where Hondo has the Millennium Falcon now. If
Really?
you're current on the Star Wars comic, he's got the Millennium Falcon now. So when you go to the park, it lines up story wise with the comic.
That's pretty fucking cool.
And he's using the Millennium Falcon to do smuggler runs. So that's what the ride is based off of.
oh.
And you're helping him. He's like, we're gonna make a lot of money together.
Oh, this is gonna be good, huh?
That's not him.
That's
a
not
question.
him. That's Watto.
The cartoons, both series are canon, are they not?
They are.
So they kind of have to acknowledge it.
Wait. Clone Wars is canon?
Clone Wars is canon.
I thought Disney wiped.
Yeah, I thought that too.
everything.
Nope. Clone Wars is canon, and
Oh,
so
shit.
is Rebels.
All right. So
The
They wiped
new
everything
one,
else.
Everything
I haven't
else.
seen the new episode. The new show, the one that the first season came out. I haven't seen that one yet.
which one?
I think it's called
It's
the
new
Resistance
one.
or something
I
like that.
don't know anything about that shit. I gotta see Rebels, man. I heard good things about Rebels.
Well,
Yeah,
if
same here.
the thing about Rebels is, Rebels is done by the same guy that did
yep.
the Clone Wars.
I know that.
So Rebels actually closes off a lot of the stories that were kind of left by Clone Wars.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I still want you to sell me on the queue and the fucking ride.
All right. So you start off, and I think you kind of start off by having that interaction with Hondo, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be in the line when you're.
Yeah, and he kind of
Pre-show.
tells you like, oh, we're gonna do this deal, we're gonna do this run, we're gonna make so
we're
much
both
money.
gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, and then
I don't know what his voice. Sounds
basically as they start to load you, they will load you into the Millennium Falcon.
Okay. And it's 6 people.
Each cabin will take 6 people. So like you're in the Millennium Falcon, like you can sit down.
Air quotes.
You
It's
can-
gonna be like a little booth.
Hey, for as much as it exists in real life, I mean,
Yes. Okay.
like. Oh, sorry. No, finish.
I was gonna say you could sit down at like the chessboard and like
Oh, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not just the cockpit.
No, it's like the ride queue into the cockpit takes you
Right.
through the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. So just before you
Oh.
enter the cockpit, you go through that hallway that does the curve, like where they're running in the
You
movie.
know that shit's gonna get destroyed real quick.
Bro, it's Disney. They're gonna
Yeah,
they're gonna be
they-
cleaning that every night.
I
They're
know,
gonna
but
be-
Yeah.
you know, there's gonna be like scribblings on the. You know, it's gonna happen. But whatever, it's fine. Whatever, continue.
I mean, it's the Millennium Falcon. It's already a piece of
That's
junk.
true. It's a big
Yeah,
piece.
they're
of
just gonna
junk.
add to the aesthetic.
Yeah, just gonna make it look.
It's already a hunk of
We
junk.
took a picture in the Millennium Falcon, that one Star Wars Experience convention in Orlando.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
we
we
took a
did.
picture in the back.
Although that was just like one segment of it.
yeah, it was a
like-
piece. So the line's through the entire Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
That's a small ass line, dude.
No. That's the
That's
very
the
end
ending.
of the
it's,
line.
It's like the store. It's like the end of the line, like right before you get into the cockpit, because there's 7 cockpits.
No, I think there was more than that.
Well,
but-
I mean per thing. There's like
yeah, I
3
don't
things.
know. I don't know, but
Okay, so there's like 3 of these Millennium Falcons.
Right.
Each one has, I think, 7 cockpits. And so basically what happens is like you go through the queue, one group gets loaded into the cockpit, the door closes, the thing kind of rotates, the next cockpit opens up, and then you just kind of go in through there. But while you're there, you're in the Millennium Falcon. You can like take pictures in the Millennium Falcon. You can check out the interiors of the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that. It's
I mean, it's essentially going to be a simulator where everyone's kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
So everyone feels special. They got their little job to do. So it's hard to really sell you on it because we don't know I don't think we know what the jobs are, right?
okay. So it's
Do
2
we?
pilots.
Okay.
Right, you got a pilot and a co-pilot. Then you got 2 gunners, who I assume are controlling the top and bottom.
Mhm.
This
cannons.
is not canon. I don't believe it. The gunners are not in the cockpit.
Well, I assume that there'll be some sort of thing about Hondo has made modifications to the,
Yeah.
to the ship.
Exactly.
I don't believe it.
I'm sure. it'll
And
be
then
there.
you've got basically 2 engineers who I'm sure are like, oh, we lost one of the engines. We need to get the engine back online or whatever. The cool thing about the ride is that it is not a set track. Like, it is a full-on simulator. You can crash the Millennium Falcon and basically you lost the ship.
so like a
man.
video game.
Yeah, and if you do that, it actually follows you around the park. The way that it'll tie into like your
Oh,
magic
man.
bands.
So you need a magic
And
band.
so
Well,
like,
Everyone needs a magic
Yeah.
band to get in now.
Even if
It's
I
your
go-
ticket.
well, yeah,
Really?
if you get a ticket, they usually just
I
give
thought
you.
they give you that little paper stub with the little sensor.
Well,
in it.
either way, it's RFID. They can read the thing. So like
Oh.
the guys that work in the park, like they'll have like little scanners and like they'll be able to detect like, oh, did you pass the Millennium Falcon or did you crash it? Were you successful? And then that follows you around the park.
Oh man.
So like
that's
you
gonna
can be
cool.
like in the bar getting a drink, and then the bartender will be like, "Oh, it was a tough loss that you crashed the Falcon or whatever."
And you know Disney's gonna be militant about that
Yeah.
shit. All these
Or,
fucking
like-
actors are
yeah.
gonna be like, "Good job on your
Yeah.
fucking run, bro."
or
I'm
like
no plebe.
well, one of the things to talk about is like one of the eating areas. It's like a bar area. It's like oh, you can go in here to hide from the First Order.
Oh man.
So like apparently like if you were successful or something and you got some notoriety, then maybe like the First Order is like, oh, we know who you are, we're coming after you or whatever. Like there's gonna be a whole bunch of stories, and when they open up the hotel in the future, I assume all of that stuff will tie even further into the hotel. And
So
into,
what
like,
you're telling me is, if you crash the thing, your experience is ruined. The First Order is just gonna rape you. You're just gonna fucking not eat any food because no one wants to serve you. They're gonna kick you out of your hotel because you ruined everyone's life.
that'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
Fucking terrible, man. Fuck, I shouldn't have crashed it. You know, I'm gonna do that to you guys. I'm gonna fucking just nosedive this shit straight into the fucking market.
Note to self: don't let Pedro fly the ship.
Right
Hey
ends
guys,
instantly.
this is gonna be a fun ride. Watch this. Yeah, baby. Hope you guys have a good fucking rest of your stay.
That's all right. I got my Asian pilot.
No, I'm just kidding. That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
I got Marco who
I don't care about
fly the ship.
I don't care about the whole like, you know how they try to give you an experience with all these fucking actors and shit. I don't like that they don't talk, so I don't really care about that, like the First Order coming at you. But I think that's kind of a neat little gimmick to have, you know, your actions in that video game follow you. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would never stay at a hotel either because that's fucking expensive.
It's only $1,000 a night, dude. Come on.
I could totally afford that if I was rich.
And apparently, so like all kinds of signs and stuff like that all throughout the park are going to be in Arabic.
Oh, nice.
So the Disney app on your phone, when you go into Galaxy's Edge, it uses geotagging, and it will convert the app into like a data pad, like out of the Star Wars universe. So like you can aim it at a sign, and it'll translate the signs for you and stuff like that. And yeah, like they're going fully immersive with this.
That's Disney, bro. Disney always goes above and beyond with that nonsense. What's the other ride though?
Okay, so the other ride's called Smugglers. It's Rise of the Resistance. And
sounds lame.
So
sounds stupid.
So the cool thing about it is like it kind of starts outside the ride in that it starts off in a part of the park that kind of looks like a resistance base.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into the resistance base. That's where you start your queue, and it's basically you start off right off the bat, right, with you get a BB-8. And I think they said it was either going to be Rey or it was.
It's Rey, yeah. It's like a hologram of her saying, "Hey, we need your help on the mission."
Yeah,
she doesn't talk like that.
And so from there you get into what looks like a transport ship, and you're being escorted by Poe Dameron, who's Oscar Isaac. So they're all filming things for the rides.
A Miami native, I might add.
Yeah,
right.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to take this shuttle ship off planet. And you're immediately basically captured by a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, the tractor beam you get.
Okay.
And this is still all pre-show.
This is all still pre-show.
Yeah, part of the pre-show is you're in a spaceship that gets.
Oh, it's that waiting part. Where
you're
in
standing
the room.
there, but it's going to be like kind of like a simulator where it feels like you're getting the tractor beam, and then when you get off that, you enter the.
You're in the basically the hull of a not the hull though the dock
where all the stormtroopers are all standing.
Yeah,
there.
What's that shit called?
And apparently they're gonna have
the bay.
The bay.
The
You're in
landing
the landing bay.
The landing bay.
And they say, and there's 50 stormtroopers. Whether they're gonna be animatronic stormtroopers, whether they're gonna be, I really don't know.
I think they said it's that hologram thing they have.
Is that what it's
now.
gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Where it just looks like they're there, but it's a screen.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but it's like 50 stormtroopers, and like I think Kylo Ren is there, and then you gotta like take this little and then the ride starts, and you get into this like little ship that transports you through the shuttle.
Is it like a roller coaster? What is?
No,
this?
it's a dark ride, so it's like it's just a car on a moving track.
like a Spider-Man type situation.
Yeah, it's what's another ride that's more similar to it? It's not because Spider-Man is more like a simulator.
Well, the thing is, we don't know how fast it's gonna move or anything like that, so we don't know really what you would
it's
equate
more like
it to.
Men in Black, but on a much grander scale.
Okay.
Because you are shooting, right?
You shoot?
No, are you? I don't think they said anything about shooting.
No. Okay. I don't know why I thought you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. No, there's
but I know that supposedly it's gonna be like a trackless system.
Yeah, it is trackless. Yeah, that's how Disney has been doing their dark rides lately. But it's gonna be like huge. You're in this gigantic,
Well, basically,
space.
one of the things that they're talking about is like at a certain point you get confronted by like a couple of full size AT-ATs.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
And they have some footage of that, like concept footage online, and it looks really cool.
Yeah. And then you basically I guess you complete your mission, and then when you come out of the ride, you're like in the middle of like the First Order part of the park.
Does that shit look like Brazil and Carnival when they busted out the fucking Star Wars floats?
Dude,
You see that
I
shit?
say, yeah, post that shit in the group.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're not part of the group, you should go ahead and join right now. Yeah, that shit in Carnival. Did you notice there was like 5 fucking Darth Vaders?
That was what? That's the 501st Legion division out
Yeah,
of
in
Brazil.
Brazil. I think it's the Brazilian one or it's like the Spanish one. I don't know, but I think it's the Brazilian one that they helped the school that did the float for that one, and they made it all like Star Wars out. And they had like some deep cuts too. They had Darth Raven, I think is the name from
Revan?
Revan from Knights of
From-
the Old Republic 2, right?
That's so Raven.
I know. I saw the 2 guys from Rogue One.
Oh yeah. The guys that no one knows their name because there was no character in that movie. Deep cuts. No, and then they had like this giant. If you haven't seen it, go on the fan
Go on our
page. You'll see
Facebook
it.
page. The We Ain't Found Sith.
Yeah,
You can
they
just-
have like this huge. What are those
Group
called?
page.
Yeah, the group page. What was those things? The little robots, the soldiers, in the prequels. What were they called?
Oh,
The droids, right?
The
Yeah,
ones that
yeah.
go Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
guys?
Roger. They had like a
Roger,
giant.
Roger.
They built a giant one. It was a really good setup, man. They did a good job on it.
And
It was
then, of
just-
course, in Carnival fashion, you
Everyone's-
have those Carnival girls
Hell
with
yeah,
the,
on top
the
of
big
the-
old feathers
on
and
top
just
of the-
dancing their samba music.
with those fat asses.
Yo, Disney, take a cue from those.
Yeah, I'm
motherfuckers.
saying they should.
I like them thick, bro.
Yeah, me too.
Thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then. And then they had Darth Maul dancing and like all the Darth. It was great.
Yeah, that was a little weird. It's like,
Like
it's weird. Like Disney does that too, where there's like a Darth Vader dance battle.
Oh no,
and
they
it-
stopped doing that because that shit was tacky as
Oh,
fuck.
good.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah,
that
shit
was
was
so
stupid.
stupid.
You know
It
what I
was
do
so
like when
stupid.
you see the stormtroopers dressed up like b-boys, kind of.
Yo,
I love that with a boombox.
actually,
shout out to the hip hop trooper.
Yeah, Hip Hop Trooper, the one in
That's
the
right.
red.
Yeah.
We actually had an idea for that for the next con. I don't know if we're ever actually going to do it, but you know how we had the Hip Hop Trooper,
Yeah.
and he's supposed to look like LL Cool J.
Uh-huh.
Well, me, Evan, and I think it was Marco, we were planning on dressing up as the Beastie Boys, but in the Rebel suit.
That would be dope.
And then just if we see him with our boombox, we have like a dance
Yeah.
battle. It would be funny as hell.
That would be dope as fuck.
Right, I think so. It would be so sick.
I think we need Gus in on that. Gus just
Yeah,
bust out
actually, no, Gus, because he's the only one who can break dance. I can't do any of that shit.
Yeah, we like you know how like the rebel pilots they wear like the
Yeah, like
the
the
full on
orange.
orange flights.
Yeah.
We're like if we could get like orange Adidas tracksuits,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with like a white Kangol and like some yellow lens glasses,
Dude, it would
So-
be
That'd be tight as
it would
shit.
be fucking cool.
Yeah.
So like we got that idea seeing the hip hop stormtrooper, the guy in the red,
Yeah.
and we're like, dude, he pulled it off because he has like he put the 3 stripes on his entire body, so it
Yep.
looks like a tracksuit. It looks so good, so we're like, man, we should do the same thing. But who knows if we'll ever do it? But that's
I'm
a great.
down. I'm down for that, bro.
If you're down, you're dancing because I can't dance, bro.
No,
I
no.
can't dance for shit.
Next time,
do
next
it.
time they're in Orlando. Next time they do the,
That's-
which should probably be like
the next
one or
one.
two of them from now
Yeah,
on.
I think it's the next one. Anyway, so then what else? The ride, the second ride was the
Yeah, the second round.
the
They kind of
trackless
talked
one?
about the general experience, all in all. Like I said, like whatever you do in the ride, like we'll follow you around the kind of the park. They talked about how like they'll have like droids just kind of roaming around, and stuff like that. And I mean, I think the park looks like it's gonna be pretty damn
Yeah,
dope.
it's gonna be very immersive. It's gonna be
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Disney, as everyone already fucking knows. I'm way more of a Universal type of guy.
Oh, speaking of,
What happened?
there's not too much information out there, but that's kind of an opening to have some fun with it. Nintendo Land is coming up on the radar.
I heard about that.
I think it's called Nintendo Land is actually the name, right?
Do you know
I
anything
don't
about
think
that?
they've given any actual names to it yet, but
Yeah, that's just a speculation. I heard that they're doing a Donkey Kong ride, like a cart ride. Do you know anything about that?
So there was an image of a patent released.
Right, yeah. If you Google Donkey Kong Ride patent, you're gonna find this little schematic of like a mine cart that's attached to another cart underneath by like a robot arm. So they're gonna have this kind of I guess you could call it an effect where the car's on the track, but then the cart hops onto other tracks, like in the Donkey Kong video game when you're like
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, Sonic.
The danks to the kinks. Man,
So you're like on the track and he's throwing barrels at you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but it's gonna be cool. But that's the thing, though.
Do
Universal.
you control? Oh, they don't have.
They haven't released a lot of
So
stuff.
we could speculate. It would be
Only-
dope if you could
that's
have
what-
like a button, like the Dumbo ride in Disney, where you
alright,
could go
so-
up and down, where you could
So
jump
my
over.
so
That would be
minecart, I'm
cool.
assuming we're talking about Donkey Kong Country, right?
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
like it'd be cool. Like okay, so given this image that you've described of like there's a track underneath and the cart is connected through like an arm.
Well, from the picture, it looks like the track underneath is just like technical. It's just there to,
Right,
to
yeah.
make the
Right.
the
So
right work.
so what I'm
The
imagining is
actual
like the
track is the one on the car.
Well,
right?
no, I assume the actual track is the one underneath.
yeah,
Yeah. The
And then
top
the
one
track
is just,
that you're on is kind of for show.
Yeah,
it's like
for
a
sure.
faux track. like
Right.
a-
So I'm assuming like, jumping mine tracks and things like
exactly.
that. And
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, it would be cool if they had like one single button on that ride, just like the Dumbo ride at Disney.
That makes
where-
the car jump.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
So that you could have like a point system. If you get all the way to the end without hitting anything, you get more points. And then Donkey Kong comes down and be like, "Oh, suck your dick" or something. Who knows?
in that voice too.
Hey guys,
Hi guys.
if you got enough bananas, I'll suck your dick.
What was that fucking the show? Coconut cream. You don't know about that.
DK,
But yeah, it would
Donkey Kong is here.
it would be cool. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool. What else do they have? They have any other?
Well, this one came out a while ago, but I know they released some information about what could possibly be a Mario Kart ride.
Yeah, it's going to be this sort of virtual reality, augmented reality.
That's the word.
Augmented.
Yeah, where you see like actual scenery, but if you wear your helmet, you see things happening around the scenery that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, like they're placing textures over.
That
Exactly.
sounds
yeah.
expensive.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm sure it's
I'm
going to
cool.
be,
I'm
but it's
cool
going
with
to be
that.
so
Well,
cool.
it's you know what? If Nintendo's working with them, I'm sure it's going to be like, hey, we want to do this.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
Universal. You think they're
Good.
broke? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's not just that. Is that Nintendo? When Nintendo wants to do what Nintendo wants to do, it does it.
It's true.
As some of their partners for mobile apps recently found out, where they were like,
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
yeah.
What was that? I heard. I vaguely
one
heard
of
about
one
it.
of their mobile partners, who does a mobile game for them, Dragon something or whatever. Apparently they were doing microtransactions, and Nintendo got some complaints about it. Like, hey, you're working with these guys, and the kids are having to spend this, and they were like, no. Nintendo doesn't work this way. You're going to make those things easier to get, and you're going to increase the drop rates on those rare characters, and because we don't want to nickel and dime our customers.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they're using the apps to sell their fucking video games. That's what they've always been trying to do from the launch of the phone games. It's not necessarily a full experience of like they have a Mario Run game where you just tap and he jumps, but that's just to sell you on Mario games for the Switch. Speaking of, just a fucking little tangent, Turok is coming to Switch just because Nintendo can. Whatever, fuck it, doesn't matter.
I still remember my first kill in Turok.
Yeah, man, that game was fucking awesome. The fog effects was like 2 inches in front of your face. You couldn't see anything.
Well, I always remember it was the first level, and if you kind of remember that first level, you're kind of starting on this like little slope of a hill.
Yep.
And as I'm walking up this hill, like all of a sudden, as I'm reaching the top of the hill, this like guy comes running out at me like and I was like,
And you only see him
and I just hit the button, and all of a sudden like your knife slashes across the screen, and I killed the guy, and the guy drops dead, and I'm like, whoa,
Yep.
that was dope.
And by a guy comes running at you is literally he appears 2 inches in front of you. And
Yeah.
you have to yeah. So that game's coming out. They're probably gonna do a remaster. That's kind of cool. But going back to the fucking the rides and shit. Do we have any more fucking leaks? Anything else that we know about, or can we just speculate what would be dope? Because I have a lot of.
They
speculation.
released concept art of what the main area is gonna look like, and in the image you can see Bowser's castle like clearly.
Oh, that's cool.
What's inside we
Can
don't
I-
know.
Can I open a lava pit and drop him in it?
That's a reference to the first video game.
I just want to jump over his head and land on the golden key, and then it just like the bridge opens and he falls in the lava.
You'll never get past me.
Just as long as I don't have to jump off the ledge and like grab onto the flagpole, because that looks like it might hurt.
Yeah.
Diggy,
So,
diggy, diggy, diggy,
anything
boom,
else? It's just that
boom,
'cause-
boom. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be really cool as far as
I think
you know.
they teased a Zelda area.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Please
Oh, I
and
hope
thank
so.
you. Oh my goodness, I need it so bad.
Yeah,
I have so many ideas for a Zelda section.
Yeah, So Pedro, if you made a Zelda attraction, what would it be like?
Oh, a Zelda attraction?
Do you have an idea? Because I have an idea for one. I could.
I imagine Zelda being those kids areas, but more for like adults. So like you'll have like 3 main rides.
Okay.
You'll have the water temple, the fire temple, and what's the third one? The wind temple? No. The fire, water, and ice.
Well, it's usually
Okay.
fire, water, earth.
No, it's fire, water, ice. So you have the fire temple, water. Temple,
don't forget
ice.
Heart, and then we get Captain Planet to come out. And
And each one of those will be their own rides, where it's going to be like the boss.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
but
it's going to be
given-
somewhere.
I would let's assume just because space is usually an issue
one
that it's
ride.
only one ride.
It's gonna be
it's only one ride?
attraction.
Okay, if Zelda only had one ride,
If it was me, I would just have an area where you could break pots and kill chickens.
And then the chickens attack you.
the chickens kill you, it's full circle.
I
If
think-
one ride,
yeah.
This ain't Russia, bro.
For me, I
In
think 'cause
Russia, chicken kill you.
Exactly.
Zelda is all about like solving puzzles.
exactly.
So I think the most the kind of attraction that would translate that the best. What?
Zelda escape room.
That's where I'm going with. Don't cut me off. I was building up to it, you jerk.
I'm sorry. I just the idea popped in my head. And
That would actually be cool. That would
Yeah,
be
like
cool.
a super well done escape room, like not just one little room. Because I went to this escape room in Gatlinburg with my wife, and it was called I think it was called the Pyramid, and that had like separate rooms. Like you would go through each room, and it was really funny because it would be like a bunch of people, like maybe like 6 to 10 people in a room, and then there's a guide with you telling you like, we're trying to figure out how to get out of this room. Oh man, and then
they actually put a guide in the room with you?
there's a guide, yeah.
Because I right immediately I know how to escape.
But it was funny because
I take the guide and hold him hostage until they let me out of the room.
but it was funny because he was like telling us to walk around, and I was walking, and I stepped on something like a tile on the floor, and it went down, and the guy was like, "What did you do?" And then like the ceiling started coming down. Like this was actually how it was.
That's pretty cool.
And it was
That sounds dope.
really funny. And so if they did stuff like that, I mean, it's Universal. They could do like 10 times better.
Okay, so going back to my idea, why can't they do 3 of those? One for water, one for ice, and one for
Well, it could be.
I
3
could see where
different
like you come
rooms.
out of one and go into the other. It's
Yeah,
like all
like-
part of one thing.
Each
Okay.
room is a temple. Is a different
The
temple.
only
That'd
the
be cool.
only problem with like an escape room though is like a well made escape room takes a while to escape out of, and if you've got a queue of people waiting to get in, that becomes like a kind of a thing.
They couldn't. I mean, if you're not now, if you're thinking in terms of like I'm a theme park designer,
That's true.
If you're talking about 6 people at a time, the rooms don't have to be too large, so they could be like 10 different versions of the same room experience that
Yeah.
people are going through at the
and
same
it could
time.
be like a
I
queue
just-
of like 5 or 6 people.
I
at
just
a
had an
time.
idea, and
What?
I don't know how bankable it is. Legends of the Hidden Temple escape room,
Oh, that would be awesome.
and like you gotta like solve the puzzles, and like every once in a while like a temple guard comes out and like takes one of your buddies.
Yeah, but that's way
That'd be-
that would be way too much.
Yeah,
I think.
that would be. We need a Nickelodeon theme park for that.
Well,
that'd be awesome.
they did. It was called Universal
Universal
Studios.
Studios.
there is a Nickelodeon theme park in Mall of America somewhere, but it's
Mall of
not,
the Americas over on Flagler.
not that one. There's like a bigger one. I forgot
That's
where.
a theme park of its own. It's called the Dead Mall.
Yeah.
You go there, experience
You
things
feel
that
like-
have died decades ago.
They should just put Malibu Grand Prix back there.
I agree.
Like
Right?
tear down Mall of the Americas and put Malibu Grand Prix back.
Leave the
God damn it.
Leave the Costco, and bring back Malibu Grand Prix.
Yes.
Hey, real quick, just a thought. I got now that we're talking about like old stuff. If you're listening to this podcast right now and you live in Miami, does anyone out there remember Pirates?
Yes.
Piratas? You
On
remember?
Bird Road.
Yeah, on Bird Road.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have vague
No.
memories of that. It was like
Well, it didn't last very long. It closed in the 80s, I
did
believe.
it close?
I believe
it was
closed in
after
the 80s.
Hurricane. It was after Hurricane Andrew.
Was it after Andrew?
Yeah,
I thought
Andrew-
it closed before that.
Andrew messed it up to beyond repair, and they tore it down.
Oh.
But
I think they turned it into a car dealership.
if you remember Pirates, leave in the comments any of your memories because I'm dying to know like details. I remember indoor
If
bumper
you
boats
have any pictures
or
of like,
pictures.
like yeah.
Oh, you know what? I actually saw something. It reminded me of you guys.
Well,
Since
it
you
wa-
guys like Disney stuff so much. I saw recently, and recently being like I think 2 years ago, someone visited Adventure Island in Disney.
They snuck in.
They snuck in and they've recorded all of it.
Adventure Island or
Discovery Island.
Discovery
Dis-
Island. It's
Yeah.
Discovery Island.
There's a few videos. Are you talking about?
The most recent one, it's all destroyed, but like
yeah,
it's creepy because there's
yeah.
like writing from the fucking old staff before they left, and it has like people's names and their staff.
Apparently,
times
my
and shit.
understanding is like
It's
people
creepy.
have like broken in there over the years, and like people have snuck in, and
Yep.
like they've had
Oh, so it's not a new
God
thing?
knows what's in there.
No, that's been done before, but it's creepy every time.
Yeah, because I saw a whole video about it, and I'd never been to that ride, but I remember
Well, it was a water park.
no, it wasn't. No, you're thinking of country
River
side,
Country.
River
Oh,
Country.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about Discovery Cove versus Discovery
this?
Island. It's the 4th Disney park in Florida, but it was closed down in like 1999.
Okay, so
Oh.
we're mixing. Okay, so you're talking about Discovery Island.
Yeah,
it was
it's-
kind of like a zoological
It was a
park.
zoo. Yeah.
And then you're kind of thinking of
River Country.
Yeah,
River
you're thinking of
Country.
River Country. I went
Yeah,
to that
both
park.
are creepy.
It's
Both-
gross.
Both are abandoned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both are abandoned and both have videos on YouTube that you can watch, and it's really creepy.
River Country, whatever it is. I went there when it was open. Nasty.
It was just like it was like 2 slides and a pool. if I
Dude, it
recall.
was nasty.
Yeah, they were trying to capture the whole essence of
the
It was
water
a-
holes.
It was supposed
Yeah.
to be like it's a
Tom Sawyer.
Let's all
Yeah.
go to the swimming hole.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
yeah,
it was,
very like
dude.
relaxing.
It was. I remember I
Lazy
went
with-
there with my family. We bought the tickets, walked in, we took a look at it, and we're like, Blizzard Beach, and we went back.
Yeah.
It was so.
I was a
gross.
Typhoon Lagoon guy.
Yeah, I went to both of them. That's that vacation.
Are
but
both of these places on Disney property?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So why
they're
don't
just
they,
abandoned.
why don't they just do something with it?
They haven't come up with something to
They
do with it
haven't.
yet.
And Discovery, I remember this shit because I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to go to this fucking. It was a zoo, and it was on an island. You had to take a ferry to it. Like you couldn't drive in there. You had to take a ferry. And I remember always seeing that, and I was like, "Oh my god, it feels like Jurassic Park." and I always told my mom, "I want to go see this because it looks like Jurassic Park." We never went. When I watched this video, dude, it is Jurassic Park. It looks like all the dinosaurs got out. It's creepy as fuck, dude.
Well, are there like animals there?
There
Loose
used to
and
be
shit?
animals.
So-
They obviously took all the animals
Well,
out.
my understanding is some of the animals are at Animal Kingdom. You know,
Probably, yeah, because
But then-
Animal Kingdom opened
but-
up, I think, right before that place closed. Or
But
right
I
after.
think some of the animals have now just kind of become part of like the natural wildlife of the park.
No, I think they moved all of the animals out. I'm 99% sure. Disney. You know what is there though? Oh my god, this is completely off topic. Not off topic, but they have refrigerators for the vaccinations for the animals, and they're all still in there. So like you see like syringes and like baggies of like specimens inside. It is super
Whoa.
creepy, dude. I love it. I love
I mean,
watching that. Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, one could almost say like it's a perfect setting to go in and film a low budget horror movie.
Yeah, but if you're caught in there, you're one banned from Disney for life,
Yep.
and you get hit with a nasty fine, bro.
Yeah. So long, Disney.
Anyway,
World.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
I
I
don't know,
liked.
but
I wanted to throw that out there. It was fucking cool.
Yeah, but anyway, Zelda escape room.
I actually did my I did my first escape room over the weekend. I had never done
Oh,
an
yeah?
escape room before, and
Really?
Which one?
we did one.
Wait, you got out, right?
You go, Eben.
Did I? But no,
Where'd
we,
you go?
I was up in Orlando this weekend. We were doing a little drinking at Epcot, and then on Sunday it was like, hey, we should go check out this escape room. And I was like, yeah, I've always kind of wanted to do one. It was like circus freak show themed.
Ah.
So like obviously the thing pops open. There's a clown in there. It's like oh, stuff like that.
Yeah, the ones in Orlando, I did one in Orlando, and those are like good quality, good budget. The ones down here aren't too good, but
Orlando got that Disney.
yeah, they got
Disney money.
They got
Well,
that.
yeah, they're tourist area,
Tourist
so
money.
they gotta do.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like this thing's like in a strip mall.
Oh, okay.
And then they just announced like, oh yeah,
Oh.
we're expanding because we just the business
That's-
next door went out of business, so we bought them and we're
yeah,
gonna
that's the
expand
one I
into-
went to. I did
The one next to a BJ's brew house, I think.
There's like a
It was right next to like one of those giant Orlando generic tourists,
Uh-huh.
like
yeah, that's the
yeah.
one I went to.
like
with
we
my
sell a
wife,
bunch of
The
like
outlet, one of the outlets.
yeah, one of those like outlet souvenir shops.
Yeah.
where it's like here's all the stuff that says Orlando and it's got
Oh, I
it's
get
got
you, I get
Mickey
you.
on it, but it says Orlando instead of saying Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Orlando is Disney. Let's just be real about that. It's fucking that.
But yeah, it's
Disney
like a
money.
budget souvenir shop.
Yeah,
It might have been the same place. Yeah, who knows? But
Yeah.
but my understanding is there's actually quite a few escape rooms in Orlando.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So aside from a Zelda attraction.
Yeah.
What else, guys? Oh, a Kirby section for kids.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be
That
nice.
would be good.
Imagine like a little mini roller coaster that like you're riding on the star like Kirby does, but for kids.
Oh my God!
Ding,
No, well, I
ding,
was thinking
bow,
more
bow,
like
bow.
actually no,
Kiddie
that
coasters,
would
man.
work.
Like,
Yeah,
like a kiddie
the
coaster, yeah.
Oh man, and then what if they had like a like
Smash tournament, yes.
What if they just had Smash like consoles all over the fucking place so you could smash all the time?
That's all it is. It's like
Oh my- yeah,
there's
just
no
make a-
ride. There's no ride. It's just a grab a chair
Just a
and
bunch
here's
of people
a and here's a
smashing.
switch.
just an arcade full of Smash Bros. No, I was thinking, what if they had a ride where it was like Spider-Man, where it would be like a 3D ride,
Okay.
but it was Metroid, and you're fighting Ripley.
Ooh.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh man,
That'd
that would
be
be
dope.
neat.
And Ripley is like hitting your ship, and you're trying to escape, and that'd be fucking
Yeah,
sick.
turn into a ball and roll away, and
Yeah.
then
That'd be fucking cool.
That would be neat.
Like, what if Metroid's like, what are you doing on this planet? You know how these fucking these parks are.
what are you
Samus.
doing? You gotta get
You
out of
guys
here.
got to get out of here. Get in my ship. I'm going to let you guys escape.
I don't know why she talks like that, but fuck it. You get in the ship, and she's like trying to fight off Ripley, and Ripley's trying to destroy the ship. She's like,
Get out of here. It's going to bro.
that, or do you go old school and you got to fight Mother Brain?
oh, man. Well, Mother Brain would be after Ripley. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right? And then, like, in each one of those rides, they have like a world.
Let's just be honest. Nintendo should just have a park of its own.
They really
I think
should.
so. Yeah.
They really should.
I don't know why they haven't done that yet. I don't know. As much as I hate Disney, but honestly, a good combination is a Disney Nintendo partnership. Let's be real. I know Universal's got it.
It's
but
true because
Well,
Nintendo is like the family brand of video
exactly,
games.
and Nintendo's the family.
Well,
brand
let
of
me
video
tell you, I've
games. Or I
thought.
think that's
Disney's-
exactly what you just said.
Well,
Good one, Pedro.
no, but
so glad
I'll tell you, like I used to have a lot of those thoughts too, of like, oh, Universal, like the rides are subpar. There's really no. But when they did the Harry Potter stuff,
Yeah, that's when
like
everything
the Harry
changed.
Potter stuff looks like it was done by Disney.
You forgot about Islands
What?
of Adventure. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of here,
dude.
Evan. That shit was
You
titties.
weren't into Islands when that shit came out?
It was, but it was pretty generic. It
No
wasn't,
way. That was
way.
taking
Like,
the
like,
shit.
like the
Yeah,
only
that's-
thing
bro,
that ever
Islands shat on Disney, bro.
Shat on it.
the
Wait. Louis was
okay,
telling
but
me.
I'm not talking about like the rides and the rides being better.
Well, that's the only thing that's important.
I'm talking about the ambiance
No,
and the
man.
experience.
No.
Like
When-
the only thing that comes close to Disney and Islands before Harry Potter was there was the line queue for the
Nope.
for the Spider-Man
Louis,
ride.
hit him with some knowledge, bro. The shit you were telling me about back in the day when after Disney or after Universal
Yeah.
opened up Islands of Adventure, they had to change their whole format because it was more about lands rather.
Yeah, so Islands of Adventure just changed the world of theme parks because they went forward with the idea of creating an entire land based off of one franchise, which they did with Jurassic Park, and
Marvel.
they did with Marvel and Dr.
Seuss
Seuss.
and all the old school
Yeah.
comic books. the
Yeah,
Toonland,
so
Popeye and shit.
Popeye.
yeah, Popeye, Dudley Do-Right, and Disney had thought of doing that in the past, but they never pulled the trigger. They were going to do it with the Muppets, and they were going to do it with Roger Rabbit, and they just never went forward.
Yeah,
they just
back
did
then it was
one
just-
attraction for each
exactly.
thing. They were like, I don't know, I guess they were too scared to try it, but Universal was like, let's do it, and that just changed the game. And now
Entirely,
yeah, and then once they did Harry Potter, and that was because the thing with Harry Potter is that one is the one that's the most feels like Disney, but it's not Disney.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
it's
that's
so
That's what I'm saying.
detailed.
Like the level of immersion
Yeah.
that you get out of that Diagon Alley and that you get out of the Harry Potter section. What's it? The one into the Islands.
I think you've
The-
never been to Jurassic Park Land.
I have.
I'm
and
sorry,
but
dude.
you go
The
through
second
it and
you
it's,
start
it's a
wa-
generic
no.
ride queue.
The
It's
second
like,
you start walking in there, you hear the music.
Yeah, I love
that
that.
fucks
area.
with your brain because now you're in Jurassic Park.
and you hear the
You
chirping
hear-
of the dinosaurs
exactly.
and the bushes.
The bushes all have like little fucking
I
speakers.
I actually haven't been to like islands in like decades.
Well,
so.
I remember that shit when I was a kid, and I remember going there. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn.
But I
this is
remember like
serious.
Yeah.
like my favorite part of Islands was the Marvel superhero island.
Mine was actually
kind of like okay, I'm in a place.
No
and, like
way,
the
the
buildings
entire-
have comic strips drawn
No,
on
the,
them.
Oh,
the
but I
entire
loved it.
fucking aesthetic of that land is nothing's drawn. There is no beige building. There is no white building. Everything's yellows, purples, and blues.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it's pulled right out of the comic books.
Yeah.
The floor is painted. Every single thing is painted to give you that immersion. The garbage cans are painted. They could have just put a garbage can. They painted those bitches so that they look like go to if you look at the Spider-Man ride, and you look at just everything. Remember when you're in the queue for the Spider-Man ride going into?
Yeah, the queue for the Spider-Man ride was like the only thing that I was like, wow.
No,
this
yeah,
is
I'm
like
talking
really...
about the part outside.
Even the Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk
when
too.
you're in line for
Yeah.
the Hulk, it's
Yeah.
telling you the story until you get to the
Exactly.
Same with
front of the
Dr.
ride.
Doom.
And
what,
it has-
what I remember
and
about
Dr.
the Hulk
Doom has
is
the
just
Doom bots.
Well, the thing about the Hulk that I remember was just like it was a generic line that
No.
just happened to have TV monitors that
No,
kind of
man,
playing a cartoon on it.
it had the reactor that created the Hulk. You're walking through Bruce Banner's lab. That's what you were doing.
Well, the
I don't
cartoon
remember
is
that.
telling the story of
Yeah.
why you're on the ride.
But you're in his lab, and everything's in purple, not a gray, not
Yeah.
it's all purple.
And silver, I think.
Yeah,
Like
purple and silver.
That's like the colors.
and everything, every section, the X-Men stupid little teacup ride, even that was themed to be like Storm and all that stupid. It was badly, but whatever. It still had it. The arcade. Remember the arcade? The arcade has the Fantastic Four car right outside. Dude, no way. They went above and beyond with that shit. The Toonland.
Toon Lagoon.
Toon Lagoon
I
had
love
like
Toon
the
Lagoon.
music going on the entire time. Like you can't escape that music. Same thing.
What I
Actually,
like
all of
is
them have the music.
What's that? What's that guy that makes the burgers? Is that Popeye?
Wimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's from
Wimpy.
Popeye, yeah.
It's
Popeye?
from Popeye, but
Glenn,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
Tuesday
Wimpy.
I love that
for
he
the
has his
hamburger
own
today.
burger
Yeah, he has
spot.
his burger
Uh-huh.
spot. Yeah,
That's
they
awesome.
You can get green eggs and ham
at Dr. Seuss's
Seuss Landings.
Yeah, man. They did and everything in Dr. Seuss is themed. Nothing is a straight angle. Everything is as cute. Everything
Yeah, there's
is,
no straight angles in
yeah.
that land. They just even the palm trees. They
curve.
They got palm trees that got twisted in hurricanes,
Yeah.
so that it would fit the theme.
Yeah.
It's
They
really
did.
cool.
Yeah, man. They did a good job. Like when
So the
Louis-
point is, yeah, go ahead.
No, when you were telling me that shit, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, yeah. That like after that shit, Disney had one theme for the park and then the attractions, but the attraction never had anything to do. Like they had the Kingdom area and then they had Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. That had nothing. to do.
Fantasyland.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace.
And that shit, yeah, exactly. That shit got
Man,
closed.
I gotta admit, I haven't been to Islands since before they did the Harry Potter land.
Oh, you
Like
gotta
they were
go.
building that shit. The last
I'm
time I went.
not a fan of Harry Potter,
not
so
a
that
Harry
shit
Po-
doesn't
I'm not a
doesn't
Harry,
affect me
when
at
I
all.
found out that they were changing Dueling Dragons to Harry Potter, I was very upset.
Me too.
Because I'm
No,
not a Harry
I mean,
Potter fan.
I mean, it
either.
was still Dueling Dragons from Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
guess.
but they changed the queue of the line. Oh no, they didn't. They kept the same thing. Now they changed everything.
Now,
Well,
now,
all I
now it's
remember
not
from the
there
queue of that
anymore.
line was that you were going through a castle.
Is it
But
still,
the
is it
castle was
still a-
sick. It was like one side of the castle was burned, the other side was
The Fire
frozen.
and Ice, yeah, Fire
Yeah,
and
it
Ice.
was so
Is it
sick.
still the roller coaster? Is that roller coaster still there?
No, that
No,
shit,
they
they tore
took
it
it-
down.
I
They're-
think they took it down recently though.
They're making
Yeah.
a new ride.
That was
based
a
off of
dope-ass
the,
ride.
That was
the
a
Forbidden
dope-ass-
Forest.
Is it gonna be a roller coaster though?
Yeah, he just said it.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Forbidden Forest.
Oh, okay, cool. As long as the roller coaster is just as
but
badass
I don't
or
think it's
better.
gonna be like
No,
Dueling
it-
Dragons.
it-
It's more of a themed roller coaster.
I mean, whatever. As long as the ride is fucking awesome.
It's not going to be as cool as the last one. That ride was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Love Dueling Dragons.
It
It
was.
was so fucking cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know. My favorite roller coasters were always at Busch Gardens.
Yeah, but that's
Man, I haven't
Well,
been there in forever.
That-
You go to Disney for storytelling. You go to Busch Gardens for the
thrills.
for the thrill rides, and you go for Universal right in the
To
middle.
drink.
I would say like right in the middle, like
I'm a thrill kind of guy.
stories with some
Huh?
of the thrill.
I'm a thrill kind of guy.
Thorough.
I'm a story
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I like the stories.
Yeah, I like the.
I like.
It
wanna
depends
piss
on my
myself.
mood. My mood. I like both. I like the
like
aesthetics.
drinking.
I like the aesthetics of Disney. I just don't like what their aesthetics are. Like this Star Wars shit sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know back in the day I used to love going to MGM Studios because they had a whole Star Wars and Indiana Jones section, and I thought Honey I Shrunk the Kids. I thought that shit was fucking cool. But now I go there and it's just like 1960s cinema. I'm like, I don't give a
So
or
does
1940. Sorry.
Does Disney also own Indiana Jones now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lucas
Yeah, right. Because they
Lucasfilm.
bought all Lucasfilms. All right.
Right.
That just occurred to me. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And there's actually rumor of them maybe bringing the Indiana Jones ride from the Disneyland park to the Disney World. But
That-
there's no, that's just a rumor,
Oh,
and
that'd be
there's no
cool.
been no.
I heard they were gonna do like a different story though. Like it's similar ride.
Right,
Indiana
but-
Jones.
Well, technically, that we have that ride. It's dinosaur.
Yeah. It used to be called Countdown to Extinction.
Hold up, let's fucking turn back the time, bro. Remember what do you guys?
Give me the rewind.
Give me the rewind. Let's bring it back in time real quick, baby. You guys remember some of those old school fucking rides that they fucking discontinued at Universal? Because I honestly only remember mostly
King Kong?
Universal.
Jaws.
Further back,
They took
like
their
Hanna-
jaws.
Hanna-
Oh, the Fantastic
the
World of
Fantastic-
Hanna-Barbera.
yes, remember
I
that
love
shit?
that ride.
they had
They took her jaws.
Yeah,
So-
Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera. Oh, that was a good one.
they had that one.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, bro.
Jaws!
They took the Back to the Future out and they put Simpsons. They had what other rides, man? I can't remember. Like
I mean, other than those, it was mostly shows. There was the Alfred Hitchcock show, the Murder She Wrote show. There were Nickelodeon
Studios was there.
where you could like see the set of Clarissa
Get
Explains It
slimed.
All.
Get slimed, yeah.
Get slimed.
Dude, man, some of those old school fucking experiences. I think the Hanna-Barbera. I mean, maybe it's because of the time, but I think Hanna-Barbera is more entertaining than the fucking Shrek ride, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, they replaced that with Despicable Me.
Despicable Me.
That's
Yeah.
what
Well, that was like the third time because it was Jimmy Neutron.
Right? Yeah,
before
yeah.
that.
Then
Yeah.
it was Jimmy
I
Neutron.
was gonna say, I thought Shrek and Despicable Me were both there.
no.
No, they're across the
Shrek
street
is
from each
across
other.
from it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like they exist, they coexist. They don't.
Yeah. We're talking about the Hanna-Barbera. It went Hanna-Barbera.
I'm a sucker for 3D things though. Like I am.
I know, but if you're gonna see a 3D thing, go see Terminator because that shit's way better than the other ones. But
That one they took out too.
they took out Terminator.
That was really recent. Yeah. and
Oh my god.
I think they're talking. I think
The
they're-
technology was getting old. It needed a revamp.
Yeah.
No, that shit. Well, I mean, it's not relevant. People don't really care about Terminator 2
Yeah.
that much anymore.
I heard they were going to replace it with a Star Trek experience, and then I also heard this is what I heard, but it's kind of weird. Jason Bourne experience, the Bourne Identity
What?
Probably.
franchise.
That's
what I heard, but I don't know
Probably.
how accurate
You
that
look
is.
tired.
what?
You look tired, I said.
Oh, little bit.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I freaking really like those old ones.
Yeah, no, me too.
I like those.
The Hanna-Barbera ride was awesome because you would go.
You go
for
through,
those
like,
of
all
you who
the
haven't been
franchises.
on it, weren't able to go on it. First of all, you can watch the ride on YouTube. They have the whole ride footage.
Yeah.
But basically, the story was that you're going to visit the Hanna-Barbera studio, and Hanna-Barbera is showing you how they make cartoons on computers now because it's like better technology. So they create Elroy. And then when they create Elroy, he's like, "Jumpin' Jupiter, I'm going to be the star of the next cartoon." And then Dick Dastardly and Muttley come out like, "We're going to be the next stars. If we can't be it, no one will." And they kidnap Elroy and jump and go into the, yeah. and then then Yogi Bear helps
it's
out.
And the whole thing turns into an episode of Wacky Races.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and
Pretty
you
much.
get in your ship, and then you're like, first you start off in the Flintstones cartoon world, and then you go into Scooby Doo, and then Jetsons, and it's fun. It's
And
like,
it feels like a 5-minute ride, and it's like 30 seconds.
yeah, but it's like
crazy.
nonstop action.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, wait.
It's
Because you're talking about something interesting here. Favorite ride or experience that is no longer there.
Back to the Future.
Oh, that I would
For sure.
King Kong. I fucking loved King Kong when I was a kid.
The
That's my
classic one?
second favorite.
Is the Earthquake ride still there?
No.
No.
Wait, we don't have to keep this exclusivity to Universal.
Oh,
really?
anywhere? No, let's first do Universal and
Yeah,
then move
let's
out of
do
that part
first
because
Universal.
it's too many.
I mean,
Universal.
Back to the Future is closest to my
Yeah.
heart because that was my favorite ride.
King
for a
Kong.
very
I'm
long
not saying
time.
Back to the Future just to be different, but King Kong would have second favorite.
Okay, yeah, Back to the Future for me too.
No,
Back to
you
the
have to pick something else. You already
Well,
said Back to the Future.
I was never really much of a Universal kid, so
Oh.
I don't really know a whole lot.
Okay,
about
so fuck it.
All
Back
right.
to the Future. 3 Back to the Futures and a King Kong.
No, King Kong is
Well,
like
Jaws.
right
You know what?
there.
Jaws.
Jaws,
I miss
yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws
They
was-
took my Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws was fucking cool.
We used to go for Halloween Horror Nights. We do some drinking, and then we'd get onto Jaws and just kind of relax on Jaws.
Yeah.
And to this night, one of my favorite experiences ever is a drunken Mark on Jaws in a fake Russian accent. And, oh no, here it comes! It's still one of my favorite memories of all time.
Yeah, those were great.
But Back to the Future was my favorite, but I miss King Kong the most because there's no ride like King Kong out there.
That's why I fucking said King Kong.
That's why, yeah, and
King
like,
Kong, like
oh, it was
Back to
so
the Future's still there. It just
cool.
has a different skin on it.
right, yeah, it's
But
like the
fucking
same
King
type of
Kong,
ride, but
That fucking ride gave me nightmares as a kid, and then I grew up to understand how that shit was made, and I would like look out the window and see the animatronic arms and shit carrying. It was so cool.
yeah,
That's
What part of Russia are you from? I am from all of Russia.
yeah. And if you never got the chance to go on it, it was really cool because when you enter the ride building in the line, you're like in an you're walking through a New York subway. That's the line. So everything's dark and dirty, and there's posters for like whatever relevant movies were coming out.
What
King
ride?
Kong.
King Kong, yes.
Then you get on the the tram, or what would it be called?
It was the metro, I think it was. It was the fucking air tram.
Yeah, on the sky sky tram or whatever. And then it looks like you're, above New York City looking down. Everything is small.
Yeah.
They do the perspective
It was like
thing.
the E.T. aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly.
It was,
so it's like
cool.
you feel like you're going over the city. Then first you would get your first glimpse of King Kong. There would be like a spotlight on a building, and you see his silhouette, roaring, and then it would go away. It was almost like an animation shadow.
It was.
And then it would, then you turn the corner around the building, and you see him from far away. Then you turn another corner, and there's like this little TV monitor on your tram, and the news reports going on the whole time. It's like King Kong is attacking, blah blah blah. And there's a tram. There's a tram still on the way to the station, and no, they're gonna get attacked. Blah, blah, blah.
Get out of there! It's gonna bro.
Get out of there, it's gonna bro. And then the last time you see King Kong, he's like right there in front of your face, and they make it feel like he grabbed your car.
But
and
he's like
pulled it down.
like 6 feet away from it. It was so good, man.
And the thing was enormous. It was like the biggest animatronic.
It was so big. I think they have a museum of that with all those animatronics.
Oh,
I know
really?
that in the back of Universal for one of the horror nights that we went to, the queue was outside, and they had all of the Jaws animatronics like set up so you could like look at it.
I mean,
Nice.
that Jaws ride was just
It was
great.
classic. It
Yeah,
was
it's a
classic.
classic.
You know,
If-
taking that little boat tour through Amity.
Yeah,
And then here's the what happened to the people on this boat, and this boat is like chopped in half, and there's bite marks on it.
Oh, and then the actor, bro. If Kevin Smith referenced it in a movie, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
He wants, remember that one?
That's right. They get married,
They get married on Jaws.
I want to propose when the shark. Not propose. I want to get married when the shark comes out of the
When are
water.
you gonna propose? When the shark pops out of the water?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oh
good.
yeah. He wanted to propose, and then they end up getting married. There.
Uh-huh.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, sorry. For
Although
spoiled the movie for everybody.
I think the ride that we had here in Orlando was slightly different from the ride in L.A.
Yeah, but who cares about LA? We're
But
not
did
there.
LA even have? LA had the.
So I think L.A. had like the studio backlot tour,
Right.
and Jaws was part of that.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Like whereas we had an actual Jaws ride.
Ours is better.
No, ours was the actual ride.
Yeah.
That was just like a little. Because what they would do a lot of times was, since we had there was more room in the Orlando
I'm
park.
gonna fire a flare at it, and then the explosion goes off. Whoa!
Yeah, they would use that studio tour to test out different ideas for rides, and if it took off, then they would actually make it into an attraction for us. So that's why that was.
You
like
know what's underrated are stunt spectaculars.
Yeah.
Like going to like Universal, going to like the Water World stunt spectaculars, like things are
Oh.
blowing up, people are
Oh, yeah.
jumping off of diving ledges.
Those
and landing
shows. The
yeah.
shows.
Like they don't get any
No,
love.
the best show.
man. And
The
those
best
are-
show
those
is
are
the
actually
Bill
pretty
and Ted
dope.
one.
The Bill and Ted
Hands down.
stuff.
It's the best one.
But
Yeah,
but I
I
think the
love
Bill
that.
and Ted stuff is like exclusive to Horror Nights.
Horror
so.
Nights,
Yeah, yeah.
That's why it's the best one because they have enough time to fucking come
But
up with
didn't
material.
they cancel that? They don't do those anymore.
Dude, they don't? Well, I haven't gone to
I could
four
be
nights
wrong.
in
I haven't-
years,
yeah.
so
At a certain
I'm thinking
point,
of
I just
Rocky Horror.
realized, like, wait a minute, I'm
probably.
standing in line for 3 hours to go through a 15-minute, haunted house where nothing is really scaring me, and all I'm doing is just spending money.
that's why I stopped going.
Yeah, that's why I stopped going too.
And then,
And because also they nerfed it.
yeah,
Like,
you
I
know why?
remember-
You know why?
Because people sued.
No, you know why? All of their money goes into a franchise now. Back in the day, they had their own franchise. Oh, we have a Frankenstein ride. Oh, we have a Killer Stranger ride. Now it's like fucking Walking Dead, guys. Everybody loves it. Fucking Stranger Things. Everybody loves it. All that money goes into the licensing for that. They don't have enough budget to make the fucking ride or the haunted house is good.
Because like when I think old school Horror Nights, I think of like first thing you're gonna walk in the park and like half the park is just covered in fog.
Yeah,
Because
they
they
don't
would-
have the
Yeah.
funds
Because
for
they
it.
would
Yeah.
A lot
bust
of the
out the
money.
fog machines and like you could barely like there was a couple of aisles where like you could barely see 2 feet in front of your face.
I still remember that.
And then I remember like the guys walking around with like the chainsaws.
Yeah.
And like obviously there's no chain on the chainsaw, but like they'd start revving the chainsaw. Like one guy like running the chainsaw against the ground and sparks are shooting.
Yeah.
And they got rid of all that.
Yeah, it happens. Anyway,
All right, so Disney.
underrated Disney.
Well,
Or not
I was
underrated,
really thinking-
discontinued.
Yeah,
Discontinued.
the eliminated Disney that you miss.
Yeah.
You know what? Right? It was a very. I guess I wouldn't say obscure, but does anyone remember a Delta Dream Flight?
Yes.
I
It's
do not.
replaced by Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
I love Delta Dream Flight. You would go and like, it was just about the history of the airplane, but they would start off. There was just different scenes. First, it would be a really cartoony scene of like different cartoony airplanes, and it'll have this goofy music playing, and then you're like inside of an airplane cockpit, and then it was like really relaxing and really just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just really relaxing to
it was
ride.
the Delta Dream flight. You can see the view. You could see it online.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about the internet. You can,
I know,
you
you
can
get
still
to
experience
relive
all
of
these things.
this.
What about you?
My favorite is it's a small. No, fuck that. You're right. Everyone's the worst.
Well, it's still there.
Oh, it's not gone?
No.
Why not? It's a thing of nightmares. Get that shit out of there. It was my favorite. It's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's what was my favorite ride.
Yeah.
He dies at the end.
That's the only ride where you die at the end and go to
You die at
go
the
to
end,
hell.
bro. You go to hell. Shit.
That's right.
It's
You
so
get hit by a
fucked up.
train.
It's
Gus?
I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Toad, I guess.
Yeah, Mr. Toad was sick.
Can't
I-
think of anything else, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I miss the OG Journey into Imagination.
Yeah, that one.
Like the old school with Dreamfinder
sure.
and all of that. That's,
Yep.
And
Oh,
then,
wait. I got one for you. The big movie ride. It just
Oh,
got
yeah.
it just got closed
Rest
down.
in
Movie
peace.
ride. Yep.
So that one's a good one. But I heard they're gonna make it with the new Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Yeah.
I love those cartoons.
You like
Yeah.
the
Same
animation?
here.
Those cartoons are fucking great.
Yeah, those are funny.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like 3D, but you don't have to wear the glasses. It's like this
Oh,
new
So
technology.
they're gonna kill your eyes.
It's like
Perfect.
2D plus or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is there
Well,
any
it's
other-
just using projection screens and things like that in order to get the effects
Yeah.
going. And then
When is Disney gonna invent holograms?
they
But I like the way that you see it in movies.
what movie? Because they have Star Wars holograms. Easy.
yeah,
Yes.
like I saw that Tupac at Coachella.
Yeah, but that's not Disney. I'm talking about.
Oh,
Disney.
that's true.
Dis-
Tupac at Coachella was
that,
awesome.
that was Obi-Wan, baby.
That's right.
But I don't know, man. If any company's gonna do it, it'll probably be Disney.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? Epcot is full of stuff that I kind of miss.
Body Wars.
The Body Wars was
Yeah.
like it was like
That
it was like Star Tours, but like with the thing turned to 11.
Yeah, Adventures
It was
in
like,
Inner
oh,
Space.
we've never had this kind of ride before.
Wait, is that
and
the
we
one
don't
where
know
you
what
go
it
through
could
the
do.
whole body? And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
That ride, I remember as a kid, and it fucking scared the shit out of me. I don't know why it scared me.
Well,
but I was-
there was
because like
something
they had
about
never
it.
done that kind of ride. Where they're like, let's just put the settings here, and then it's like people are like throwing up, and it's like they're being violently shaken from.
There was just something squeamish about it.
Yeah, it
like
was
you're
weird.
like inside arteries, and like you're going. Then you get sucked into like different
it was
parts of
so
the body.
creepy. I remember that ride. It was
I liked
creepy.
it.
Which
I loved it. But
And by the way, like if
I can understand
that whole like Wonders of Life pavilion. Like if a lot of that stuff is still there, man, like they should take. Remember Cranium Command?
I never saw that show, but I know of it. I know.
All right, so Cranium Command was like you were like inside the head of a teenage boy, and it was like
That's
the,
a bad idea.
That's a bad. That's a terrible
so like
idea.
there was like the two eyes, and the eyes were showing you what was going on like in the real world,
And it's just
and then there were like monitors all over. And this thing is just like it was like somebody went to SNL in the '90s because they got John Lovitz and they got freaking
scrambled
They
porn.
got Hans and Franz.
Exactly.
Like Hans and Franz I think are the heart, and like Hans and
Okay.
Franz are pumping the heart. They got Norm from Cheers is like down in the stomach, and he's like feed me, and
Oh, okay.
But I think okay, you take that if that thing still exists there, they should turn that into Inside Out.
Oh, the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
movie.
And
the
you're
Pixar
like
movie.
in the girl's head, and then you've got the emotions
Oh,
are
yeah.
there.
No,
and-
that movie is
Wait.
not nearly creepy enough to be that ride.
Are you
The
talking
ride
about
was creepy.
Inside Out Boy?
Is
Is that what you're talking about?
the guy who
Nickelodeon?
the
He
one
went
who
over
swung
the
over
swing.
the swing.
He swung over the
He
swing.
swung over the swing.
Yeah,
and
I
now
went
he's
over the-
inside out,
Yeah.
boy.
Oh man, dude, I miss Nickelodeon. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
But also, and as much as I love things like Test Track and as cool as like Mission Spaces, I miss Horizons and I miss the World of
Yeah.
Motion.
Remember Horizons at the end? You can pick
How you wanted to get back?
how you want to get back, space, the desert, or
Underwater?
the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That was so cool. That was so cool.
Is there any other parks we could? I mean, Busch Gardens. I think the only one that they.
Well,
just-
I wanted
Well,
to
I, mean,
mention.
I never got to take the brewery tour of Busch Gardens.
oh,
Me
they
either.
stopped that.
Yeah,
they
they
closed the
stopped that.
brewery. They closed
I was
the
upset.
brewery before like I was 21. So
Yeah, I wanted to mention when you brought up piratas,
Piratas.
right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had a Six Flags down here in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale?
What?
No.
Yeah, it was a water
yeah,
park.
Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah,
It
in Fort
was?
Lauderdale. It was a
Isn't
Six
it
Flags water
didn't
park.
it turn it into Rapids now?
I think it was Atlantis. I don't know. I don't know what happened to it, but it was called Six Flags
Whoa.
Atlantis.
I did not know that.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
I went there once. I barely remember any of it.
I think they turned it into Rapids.
Yeah.
I'm not
Probably.
100% on
But
that.
that's not in Fort Lauderdale.
Miami people who like have been here for longer than me, maybe they'll remember that. I know that I was like a kid
Yeah.
when that was around.
Yeah.
Yo, real quick, a little off topic, but not really. Six Flags New Orleans is an abandoned theme park, and there's videos of people walking around it. It's super creepy.
I love those videos.
Yeah, I know, me
I
too.
fucking love watching those fucking videos.
Yeah, look up Six Flags New Orleans abandoned videos.
You
That's
you
another
know about
one.
this? There's Lockhart Stadium has been abandoned for like
Yeah.
since they stopped.
Yeah.
There's footage of people walking. There's a fucking tree growing out
It's a
of the
jungle in
field.
that motherfucker.
Like in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nature took that shit over. It's like, oh, you guys don't want this anymore? I'll take it. That shit is just full of fucking trees. It's fucking.
It looks like it's been abandoned for a decade.
Yeah.
And it's only been like
Like,
4 years or
it's been
something.
like
Nature
3
works
years.
fast.
It's been like 3 years.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
nothing.
Nature
But-
works fast.
Yeah, dude.
But
Anyways,
that shit's creepy.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up. We've been kind of here for doing a little bit. Follow us on We Ain't Found Sith on Instagram. We Ain't Found Sith on Twitter.
Hold on, bro. One Punch Man is season 2.
Oh man!
Oh,
Why are
that's
you
right.
why are you jumping over One Punch Man? Come on now.
Honestly, I mean he's been gone for so long that I forgot.
It's true. Nah, but One Punch Man season 2 is coming out, man. I'm kind of excited
April,
for
right?
that shit. Yeah, April. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fucking. You guys watch One Punch? One Punch.
No. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
But
man.
everybody tells me it's good, so maybe I'm going to have to watch it.
Oh man, it's,
Season 1's on Netflix. You should definitely
yeah,
check it out.
it's
I know
fucking
it's there.
hilarious, man. It's about like this superhero who's like super nonchalant about everything, and like all the villains are like super over the top. So it's like a
Yeah.
funny balance where this guy who
Well,
just doesn't
and a lot
give
of the
shit.
other heroes are over the top.
Yeah,
too.
everybody's over the top besides the strongest dude.
That's funny.
It's just like
Everybody
whatever.
tells me One Punch Man and Titan. What is it? The one with the Titans?
Attack of Titans.
Attack on Titans. Yeah.
Oh.
I've never seen that one, but I've
Is
seen
that the one with the
Punch.
giants?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ones
They
that look-
have an Attack of Titans. I don't think it's an attraction, but it's a land in Universal Tokyo.
Oh shit,
Yeah, you can see some pictures online. It's interesting.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the same anime note, DBZ 30th anniversary collection is coming out.
It's pretty sick.
And it
30
has like a whole bunch of
years,
little
wow.
bells and whistles to it, but who cares? It's just
But you do have to pre-order it.
yeah. And you have to pre-order
because
it
if they
from
don't
them.
get, I think it was 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah, 2,500 pre-orders, and they're just not going to do it because it won't be
Do you know
viable.
how much is it? Do you remember?
I
I don't think those
don't.
details were available because the
Oh.
pre-orders hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I love DBZ.
And then the other thing off the top of my head is MK11 story trailer. Like I was saying, fucking Mortal Kombat is going back in time, so they're bringing back a whole bunch of people who are dead. So
You know
Liu
what,
Kang
bro?
is evil now?
the whole thing is that
Did
like
you get possessed?
they didn't really explain what's happening, but in this trailer, Raiden's evil.
Oh,
Liu Kang. There's a bunch of main state fucking MK characters
Mm-hmm.
who are evil, and this one lady, I forget her name. She controls the time of the realms, so she could control what happens in the realms, and she has no control over this. So she's going back in time and bringing people from the past to fight the present version of themselves. So there's like a segment in that trailer where Johnny Cage at age like 50 is talking to Johnny Cage at age 30. It's hilarious because they're both like super arrogant and like just a bunch of just two dickheads.
he was my favorite.
He's such a dick.
He was my
Yeah, this
favorite.
is the future.
like-
why I haven't seen a jetpack yet.
Yeah, he's like, I've been in the future for fucking 2 hours and I haven't seen a jetpack. Not one. It was so good, man. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for that.
Weren't they flirting with making a Mortal Kombat Netflix series or
They
YouTube
did.
or
They
some
did
shit
a
like
YouTube.
that?
They did. They made one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out.
Is it
Yep.
any good?
I've never seen it. I know it exists, but I've never seen it myself. And
we already have the movie. That was perfect. We don't need anything else.
That's the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking good. And then Apex. Anybody care about that anymore?
What is that?
Apex Legends? No.
Oh,
Well,
what's gonna take over Fortnite, right?
What I think it is, they hit 50 million players. It's a pretty big deal. It's a
Pretty
lot
That's
of players.
very impressive.
Yeah, for a
Yeah.
month. It's only been a month, and they got 50
And
million.
What is it on? Like what console is that? on?
All of them.
Everything.
Oh yeah.
Just like that
Like-
fucking guy in Leon the Professional.
Everyone!
All right.
Anyways, that's going to wrap us up. This has been We Ain't Found Sith. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. We Ain't Found Sith on both of those. Look us up on Facebook and join the Facebook group. It's We Ain't Found Sith on Facebook. I know that from what I saw, there's about 10 of you that are subscribed through our iTunes feed. If the 10 of you could, leave a review and maybe a comment, maybe try to get us a little bit more onto the like what's trending or new and noteworthy or something like that. Maybe we can get some more listeners in on there. If the 100 of you that are in our Facebook group, make sure you leave comments. Make sure you let us know, what did you like about the show? What didn't you like about the show? What's your favorite thing that's missing and things like that,
I wanted to send a shout out to our boy Edwin, part of our Lemon City Live podcast family. It's his birthday. Shout out.
Birthday boy. Although whenever he's listening to this, his birthday's probably already passed.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
Well, late birthday. Happy late birthday.
happy birthday from the past.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And then we're going to wrap this up. I got to go change the locks because, Louis, seriously, I don't know how you got in here.
I never left.
We Ain't Found Sith.
Oh.